Okay, good. So let's see. People have done really good homework. So a lot of people have done good. I'll not be going to all of them, but let's see a few of them. Okay. So okay. So this is. So I would not say this is a bug. Okay. Now let's go here. This is something which is which is need to be it has to talk about it, right? I mean, obviously, when you click on this link, you get to know the email ID. You see this GMO-master at, you get the link, but if you click on that, it goes into the different page, right? I mean, it's a different thing. So this is not really bug or something, but it's really need to be. Of course, it might be not very user friendly, so maybe you are talking the point of it should be user friendly. Okay, so that's a good point for that if it's should be user friendly, but really it's not a bug. Okay, so there is a lot of difference between user friendly, a bug, and a feature. Okay, um, so the website. Okay, so yeah, this is okay. I mean this. See, these are things to be, to talk about it. These are good. These are good observations. I mean, this is how you start with. Okay, this is good. But I mean, see, just because you found this thing, right, you're not going and opening a defect. First thing is, first thing first, you need to take a screenshot as you did and send an email, to your lead saying that, hey, this is the scenario and, this is not really supposed to be like this because, we have seen a lot of application, it's obviously has to be, automated and scripts, lot of scripts because it's not going to accept all those things. Okay. So, these is something to talk about it. Okay. These are, I mean, you cannot open bug. Yeah, it can be a defect. I'm not saying it's not a defect, but it can be a defect. But these are something to, to check with your lead or check with the business analyst and make sure you make it right. Okay. This is. So everyone only worked on address. Okay. Okay. So yeah, so these are good. These are good to start with. That's good. But yeah, okay, that's a good point. There's no limit for the quantity. Yeah, of course, there should have been some limit, right? Since there's a reason to have in stock and out stock, so obviously there have to be some, put some quantities. So let's see. This is a good point. So this is a very good thing. Okay, you don't have the size. Okay, who is going to buy without the size? Right, you have to have the size, small, medium, large, extra large, right? Without the size, nobody is going to even look at it, right? That's a good point. There has to be a size. So this is a really good bug. I mean, still again, this need to be clarified or checked from your lead and business analyst, saying it really doesn't have any kind of information about size. So who is going to buy without size, right? There's no point of. Okay, this is good. Yeah, these two things are good. That's a good thing to point out. Okay, let's go pretty quick here. So hope everyone is done for addresses. Anything else? Yeah, email ID should be addressed, so that has to get some script at so because it has to take only valid email IDs. Okay, okay, good. So to start with, that's good. Okay, but you know what? Let me also show you what bugs you would have taken. Right, I would have opened some really good bugs. Okay, so here's the thing. Look at the first page. This is the first page. Here you see this copyright 1997. So this is not 1997. This is 2017, and as a matter of fact, we are going to have 2018. Okay, in just few 15-20 days, we'll be going to 2018. So you company has to look at this and update their website. Okay, now why this is a bug? Okay, if you're in financial, okay, finance people might not care, okay, they don't worry about it. But if you're going into healthcare projects or any insurance, that would be a federal compliance. Okay, if you're not following the federal compliance, then it will be legal issues. Okay, so if you are putting this outdated website that's 1997, now that's really a problem, right? This can get a legal issues for healthcare people, because healthcare, they have to maintain all those federal compliance. There might be a federal compliance, there might not be. It's not necessary, but this is one of the reasons we have to look at this. This is 1997. It's not 1997. Okay, this changing this doesn't help. They have to have the certificate installed. They have to buy the certificate. They have installed the certificate in the server, and then they have to, change this value. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, so that's the one you could have. Somebody would have opened that. Did anyone open on that? Okay, so let's go to one more. Right now, one more defect that I would like to point out is, I see this image. Okay, there's nothing wrong with the image, but the moment I hover my mouse over that image, you see this? Oh, I'm getting some error here. Okay, a HTTP server error. So this, maybe they're fixed. So there were actually two defects. Maybe they fixed one of them. Okay, the cursor was changing into hand cursor. Okay, that is very low priority, very least priority. Okay, nobody cares about it, but still it's a bug. Okay, it's a, as a QA, I would have, I obtained so many bugs on that. Okay, like almost many bugs on just having, okay, just changing the hand cursor. Like sometimes this is the cursor, right? It automatically changes hand cursor as if it's an URL, not URL. But still, the moment I click on this, this is the bug. Now, the first thing is image here. At this thing, image is not clickable. This is not Amazon. Okay, if the Amazon is there, you have to. The URLs are integrated with images, so that's fine. But here, okay, here this is not integrated with the URLs. Okay, so this is the bug. So as a matter of fact, if this was any URL or something button, so now this will be a priority issue. This will be a very high issue, because you will not able to execute your test cases. You have your test cases and you need to execute your test cases. But okay, if your page is not displaying, this is what is showing up, then this is a high priority issue. Okay, so make sure. So did anyone open this defect? Okay, so this was the major. So that's what I said. You have to go through everything. As a QA, as a tester, nobody tells you what to test. You are the one who need to test. That's why they hire you, right? So you have to be very careful, because if someone opens such kind of defects in production, it's not good. Because not developer, not project manager, not manager, you are getting to get hold of this, right? First question from your boss will be, why it was not opened in QA, why in production, why in regression? Okay, the first thing is forget about the production. If there are defects, so many defects comes up in, okay, there's so many defects comes up in regression. Okay, your boss will say you, why in, why now, why not in QA, why didn't you open in QA, why these are defects coming out in regression. So you have to be very careful. Okay, your boss has a right to question on that. Okay, anything else, any new, so some people, right, some sure, let's see, some people also open some minor issues, very minor, but still they say like there is a repeat in the same sentence they're repeating. That's really good. But I'm not sure exactly which was that. Somebody, so somebody read everything here. Okay, so all these things, somebody read and opened. So that's really good. Okay, that's how get used to opening defects. Okay, so that's about this opening defects. Any questions? Does anyone have any questions? On opening defects, how to open defects and how to. So to start with, you guys are good. Okay, you have tried. Okay, I'll be giving you one more homework that will be, so this is okay. I mean, not up to the mark, but it's still, to start with, that's good, because people from a lot of background come, right? From a lot of background, you don't have to be a computer, you don't have to. So, okay. So I'll be giving you one more homework. Make sure I mean, if you get used to it, that's fine, but make sure you do it. It's for yourself, not for me. You don't have to do for me. If you know it, that's fine. But yeah, you have to try it so that you get a better idea. Any questions? Okay, so no questions. So let's move to the next one. Oops, we're running out of time. So we'll talk about this tool. Okay, so now we know how to open these issues. Okay, we know we need to have good observation skills, and once you observe a lot of things, you open defects. Okay, you don't open defects. You found issues, and then you report to your lead or your boss. Okay, you just don't try to interact always with the boss, because your boss doesn't like issues. Okay, so just don't keep. You have to avoid a lot of. You have to avoid your boss. So you need to check with your lead mostly. Lead. You can check with your colleagues and get the work done. Okay, so once you have figured it out, now let's say everybody agrees that's a bug. Now, let's see here, we need to use some tool, right? This is called test management tool, Rally. This is a test management tool when you use in Agile, you can use in, it's not necessary, you can use in Waterfall, Agile, Extreme Programming, Kanban, any environment. It doesn't have to be Agile, but to be specific, this is more designed for Scrum, okay? So I'll be giving you access for this, okay? You have to complete homework for this too. Okay, so let's see here. So I'll be logging in here, and we'll get used to some of the things here. Okay, and now first thing first. So first thing is you need to figure it out which project you are working on. So first thing is which project. Now if you click on this, this shows the project. Okay, this is the project. I hope everyone is able to see, right? Let me. So this, okay. So this is the project. Okay, I hope everyone is able to see it. Okay, this is the project, and it's. I mean, it's in a different tool. It varies. Okay, in every tool it's a different. But here in this Rally, that's a project where you can see. Very good. I hope everyone able to see it. Okay. Now, once you figure it out which project, you need to see which project you have access to. You don't have access to all of the projects. Okay. You have to figure it out which project you have access to. There are plenty of projects, thousands of projects going on. Okay, so here we'll take, as a ease of convenience, we'll just use this one, testing team. And okay, we are in that project. Okay, good. Now, okay, this is a dashboard. You can customize your dashboard. So now we'll just not worry on this dashboard. Let's go here, go to a plan, and user stories. Okay. Now, once you figure it out which project you are working on, these are the user stories. You will be having a lot of user stories. Okay, just not one or two. Don't just expect here. It's very few here. Just 50. There will be thousands, and there's sub user stories. Okay, there's child user stories and a lot of iterations and a lot of things goes on. For example, we see this is a child, user stories. That's how you can have this. Okay, so once you figure it out, you need to check with your lead or with your business analyst, whoever you're working with, and see which user story are you working with. Let's click on this. Okay, so I know which user story. So let's see here. My user story number is US 176. This is US men's user story. Okay, so here, whenever I say user story, that means that's the requirement. Okay, so in Agile you call it as user story, but in Waterfall it's the requirement. So whenever I'm saying user story, that means it's a requirement. Okay, so here this is the user stories testing demo. Okay, let's see that. Okay, so here's a very important thing to know. This user story is nothing to do for editing. So don't edit. So whenever I'm giving you access, say this is the important thing. The last batch was good. Your previous batch, they were really good. You know what happened? The previous batch, like 2-3 batches, right? I told them not to delete it. Okay, don't delete user stories, and they deleted it. Second time I told them not to delete again, they deleted again. Third time I sent an email that's causing a lot of inconvenience to people because they have to write the test cases, and they did it again. Okay, so don't delete it. Okay, it's like 3 times, and you know what? When you're working place, they don't even say once. You're not supposed to delete anything. Okay, I hope everyone is clear on that. Okay, I know it's not previous, but previous was very good. I told them they didn't delete anything. They deleted everything. I mean, not just user story, test cases and everything is gone. So don't do it because a lot of people will be working, interested people will be working on it. So don't delete any user story. In real time, you're not going to delete anything. As a matter of fact, if you are deleting any user stories, then it comes to you. Okay, because they will know, they'll have all that user ID, so they'll just catch you immediately. There's no need of investigation, or even no need of investigation. They'll just get your user ID who deleted it in the history tab, and that's it, done. So you cannot delete anyone's work, so make sure you understand it. Okay, the reason I'm saying, because a lot of people are there, so just make sure, because a lot of people will be working on it. Okay, some people will be writing homework. Okay, so that's what I got an email saying that it's a lot of frustration that people are deleting the user story. So don't do it, because at work if you are doing it, I mean that's really not a good idea. Okay, so this is the user stories. Okay, this is you have this information here, so don't expect so cakewalk like here. I put the screenshot, but nobody will do it. You will be having bunch of information here in the user story. Now, it's not necessary that all the information will be understandable by the QA, because this user story, whenever they are preparing some requirement or something, they'll be giving a lot of people in mind. Okay, not just QA, it's a developer, it's an architect, it's Scrum Master, your manager, QA, QA lead. A lot of people are involved here. Okay, just not 1 or 2 people. So it's not really easy, I mean, to understand all the things what is written here. So you have to understand, based on the information provided, and if you don't understand something, you can check with your lead, and work on that. Okay, but it's really not a cakewalk, because there'll be a lot of information which you will not be understanding it. So you have to read more than once. Okay, of course, maybe 3 times, 4 times, and you will see what's actually happening here. Okay, so this is it. User story is only to view. Okay, it's not to edit, it's not to delete, it's nothing to do with you. Okay, you have to see what's the information provided and what you are going to do here. Okay, that's the most important thing. Okay, so let's go to task. Okay, so this next tab, that is task. Now this task some people use it, some people don't, but this is important. Okay, the reason of having task is you have to maintain this time frame, right? Let's say there's a QA, so you have to complete your work, right? How much time are you taking? This, in agile, you have to be very careful. There's no, in agile there is no months time like waterfall. In agile, today they develop the code, there is code. Tomorrow it's in test. Day after tomorrow it's regression. That's it. In 1 week it's in production. That's fast in agile. Okay, it's that fast. In waterfall, of course, you are having the 6 months project and they lag it on to for 2 years, and that thing goes on. It's no more. Okay, that thing is gone. It's a history. Okay. Now in agile, it's pretty much fast, and 1 week it's done. So you have to be very careful. So that's the reason you need this task. So how much time are you taking? So let's say here. So let's add. What was my task? Okay. So here we will just put as functional testing. Okay. And I'll go to add with details. And here, see, so some of the time, right, sometimes you have to create tasks, but it's not necessary. Sometimes your boss assigns you tasks, or sometimes your lead assigns it. Or as a matter of fact, any supervisor, okay, can assign it to you. But normally it doesn't come from other team because it has to go through your boss and to you. Okay, it cannot come from developer, do this, so you're not really taking orders from developer. Even if it comes, you have to check with your lead and see that why it is being to you directly, because it doesn't come, that way. Okay, it has to follow that process. Any task or any work, it has to go to your boss first, then from boss to you. Okay, actually from boss to lead and lead to you. But you're not getting any dev guy and creating task and it's coming to you. That doesn't work that way. Okay, if it is that way, you have to really check with your lead and you have to figure it out, because that's not the way to work. Okay, and here I'll put the state as progress in ready. Estimate task. Let's say I'm completing in 10 hours. So here I'm taking as 10 hours, and I'm just putting as functional testing on GMO on my target. So this is well, you don't have to do this. This is just I like blue color, so I'll just put a blue color. That's it. Okay, so this is the description. If you have description, you can put it. And expedite attachment, if you have attachment, or if it's notes. Notes is normally if somebody, if dev guys have some information, they'll put some information here. Okay, and this is okay. If you have tag, you can also add tag. Okay, tag here. Okay, good. Okay, GMO functional testing, that's good. And I'll go ahead and create on create. And this is being changed. Okay, done. Okay, great. So if you see this task is created, it's like TA260. TA means task. Okay, and what's the name? Functional testing on GMO. This is also useful if you're working on multiple projects. Let's say you're working on ETL, you're working on functional, you're working on integration, you're working on system testing, a lot of things, right? This helps you to organize yourself. Okay, now this is for functional. Okay, I'm working on functional 10 hours and that's it. And again, I have tomorrow system testing. I want to work on that one. So you want to create tasks, maybe different project, but you want to create tasks for yourself. So that will be helpful for you, to see how much time. So that is one way. Or the other thing is your boss directly assigns to you. You don't have to create sometimes. Okay. Any questions in this task? Okay, so let's go to the test cases. So this is very important. The only reason between task and test cases is, I mean, they would have integrated that task to this test cases and eliminated one module, just putting by number, right? So let's see here. This number is there here, just like, but I see this estimate 10 and to do. If you, if they have put this in the test cases, now you won't even need the task. Okay, so it would have been much more better. So yeah, as I told, right? That's a very good question. So yeah, first said who create task. Anyone can create task. Any developer, any tester, or assign it to you. No, developer doesn't assign directly to you. It has to go to manager. Okay, and normally you can create task. Okay, you can create task for yourself. Okay, sometimes if it's an unsupervised model, that means your boss doesn't care what you are doing. So in that case, you have to do yourself. Okay. Now, in supervised model, let's say your boss actually created task for you and assign it to you. In that case, your boss creates task for you. And lead also can create task and assign it to you. Does it make sense? So it depends on the project, okay? So it depends in supervised model or an unsupervised model. In that case, but yeah, tester can also create the task. And somebody said, how will I know how much time does it take? That's a very good question. So normally in Agile, what you have is, there is, you don't go beyond 8 hours. Normally, if you want to test something, it's just 8 hours, okay? But if you think it's a pretty big user story and it's a lot of testing is required, okay? Let's say we have done just functional testing. Okay, functional testing, as a matter of fact, if you see the application, you know how much time will it take, right? I mean, do you think really it takes weeks to test this application? No, right? This is the 3 buttons and this field values and so and this address fields. Okay, that's it. So I think that should be, based on this application, I would say this is just 8 to 10 hours. That's it. And that's not even too much time. Maybe your boss will not allow that. Okay, but that's how you have to work based on whatever the applicable time is. Okay. So normally but obviously you will not have application ready-made. Here we have ready-made application, so that's how we can talk about it. But you have to judge based on the requirements. So whatever the requirement is, based on that, how much time will it take? You have to put that time. Again, you can change the time later. If it's taking more time, you can add or decrease the time based on your test. Does it make sense? Okay. So we prepare time estimation for whole testing. So time estimation is normally prepared by the lead, your lead. Okay. The whole lead, lead is supposed to handle this, and they have to see how much time it is taking, for how many people are working, and the lead is actually will be doing that, little bit management perspective. Time allocation, how much time it should take, how much it should be completed from that time. Okay, so let's move to the next one. So this is, here's the test cases. Let's start writing our test cases here. Okay, to start, right, to start with, just hover your mouse over this action, which is located in the upper right corner. If people is not able to view it, I'll just, show you. This is what you need to hover your mouse. You don't even have to click. You have to hover your mouse over this action, and let's see here. And go to the new test case. Okay, and then once you go it and once you navigate to that page, see. So okay, testing demo, I'll be putting the same. So here you can follow the naming convention. Okay, some information about what you're trying to do. Let's put it here a little bit more specific here. Functional testing on GMO website, and this is not really not required. Here I'm putting because we have only one access. That's the reason I have to put this. And if you're writing your test cases, make sure you put this. Okay, just don't put my name. When people keep on copying this, put my name. It's not my name. You have to put your name. If you're writing your test case, you have to put your name. Okay, make sure you do that. And tags, you can add tags. If not, a lot of tags here. Just put it. Okay. And description. What is the description of the test case? What you're trying to do here. Test cases for GMO Online. Let's say if we are doing functional testing, we'll just put it functional testing. If you have attachments, I mean, you won't really have this attachment here, but yeah, if you have any, you have to put it here. And the owner of the test case is always a QA. Okay, not a developer. And the project, which project you're working on, make sure you put the right project. Expedite, if you want to expedite, you can click on this, but really we don't need to expedite unless it's a production issue or something, you don't want to expedite. It's normal. And objective, what is the objective here is to test okay. And work product is the user story, which is already linked with it. If you want to remove it, you can remove it, or if you want to add a new any user stories, anything which is start with US, actually not D means defect. So these are there's a lot of user stories, so you can see if there's anything matches for that, and you can put it here. But since we are opening this in that user story, you don't have to link anything. It's automatically linked for you. So that's a good thing. So what type of testing is this? Acceptance, functional, performance, regression, usability. So we'll stick to functional. And what method? Is it automated or manual? Here in this case, we'll just go with manual. What's the priority? Priority will, very important. Risk, medium. Okay, preconditions. So before executing these test cases, what are the preconditions you have to meet? So here, preconditions are so user stories and releases. So user stories is is done by the business analyst. Okay, so business analyst or product owner, whoever is responsible guy will be doing that, not tester. Okay, obviously not tester. Okay, preconditions here is let's say here. Okay, code should be moved to QA environment, and the second thing is smoke testing has to be completed. Okay, there's two current preconditions, and let's go to post conditions. Post conditions is that means what happens after executing this. Okay. Regression testing should be performed, and anything else. So let's say we don't have performance for this, so we'll just put it after regression testing. Code should be moved to production. Okay, just as a I'll just take an ease of example, but it has to go all the process. If there is a performance, you have to perform the performance. Okay, you cannot skip that. But here we'll just put it simple. Okay, and let's see here. Let's start writing our test cases here. Okay, see the steps. I hope everyone can see here, right? It's we see people who are not able to view it. So this is this is important thing. This is what you need to start writing test cases. Okay. Okay. So here, if you go ahead and click on this, add action steps. Okay. Okay. You know what? We'll just put this, fill up this two box here. You have two fields here, right? Let's fill up this first. So what we'll just do is so we have this application ready. So as you know, you have to perform with all the browsers. Okay, not just Chrome. You have to perform with Firefox. You have to perform with Microsoft Edge. Safari. And if there's anything else browser, you have to also perform for that. Okay. So here, enter the URL in the Chrome browser, and what happens after entering the URL? And so since we don't have button here, just click on enter. Okay, enter, and what happens is home page of GeoMo Online is displayed. Okay, this is the first step. Now I want to start writing my test case. So what I will go is click on this, add action step. And this is a drop down box shown up 5. Now one shows that one pair of fields are just shows up, and 2 shows 2 pairs. Here I'll stick to 1. Let's see what happens. The page gets refreshed, and you can see this. Okay, good. So now what is the input and what is the expected result? Okay, so here what's the input? Let's see here. So here's the first step, right? Yeah, here you see this. So we have completed this first step. Now the second step would be, let's say I'm trying to test this button, right? So click on enter GeoMo Online button. Okay. Click on enter GeoMo. What happens? The page is navigated to online catalog page. Okay, so that's what we are going to write. Page is okay. Now this is the first step. Now I'll try my second step. Click on this again. Add action step. Now again click on 1. You can create 5 at a time, but we'll just go one at a time and see if there are any issues. So there will be a lot of issues. You have to look around. Okay. So here, the first step is good. Second is second. This is the second page, right? So the URL has got changed and everything is new page now. Let's say I want to put some quantity here, right? So we'll just put as enter order quantity for 3% dome temp. Okay. As 10. And click on place an order button. Okay, so what happens? The page is navigated to this number here. Place order page. Okay, this is the place order page. So this page is okay. This is my, yeah, you can say second step, or third, because it's also included in it. Okay. And next I want to write one more test case. So let's click on this again. Click on action step again. This shows 1, so I'll go to 1. Okay, now here's the problem. Okay, now the problem is now this is not my second step. If you still see this, this is my second step, right? Now this has become third. Okay, now this is something, this is really not, I don't want this one. You can create n number of steps. It's not like max, you can create n number of steps. Okay. So, but it's better to create, max is 20. If you are creating more than that, your efficiency will be decreasing, because you have to, test that too, right? If you're creating more than, like, if you're creating 1,000 steps or something, that doesn't make sense, because at the end of the day, you are the one to test it, right? If you're creating that many steps, then you will be testing less. If you're testing less, then that means you will be having more issues. Okay, so make sure you. I would say personally, it's 20. Now, just my personal opinion, you don't have to take that, but it depends on the project. It might be 10, 15, 30. It's up to them, but I will keep it simple. Short and simple. That should be good. Okay, so here. This is not my second step. I want to move this. So what I'll do is, for every field, if you notice, there are 2 blocks here. Okay, two icons. See here. I just want to action menu. Okay. I hope everyone can see this, right? Let's see these 2 buttons. Okay. Great. So here, click on this action menu, and I want to move this step down. So I'll just click on this, and this step moves right down here. Okay, good. Now it's good. So this is my third step. Okay, now this looks good. Okay, what is the input here? So input is click on proceed with order button. Okay. And as expected, see this billing information page. Okay, go to the billing information. Okay, and let's see here. Page is navigated to billing information page. Okay. Okay, great. So now I've just created this, but now I don't want to go back here and create, because I know this will get created in second step. I don't want to waste my time moving my steps ups and downs. So I'll be creating right from here. Okay, see this action? I'm just creating. So this is simple. This gets just after this, and it gets 4th step. So that should be good. Okay, good. So now this is 4th step, and what the fourth step will be is fill up all the information and click on place the order button. Okay, and what happens is online receipt. Let's click on this online store receipt page. Okay, so what is expected? Page is navigated to online store receipt. Okay, and let's say I want to write one more test case. So I'll just go ahead and click on this again, add action step, and click on one. And let's see here. Okay, it's and this is one more button, return to home page button. So let's see here. Click on okay, return to home page button. What is expected? Page is navigated to home page of GeoBoardMap. Okay, and just let's say I've finished writing my test cases, and I'll go and click on save and close. Okay, good. Okay, so this is how you have to write your test cases. Now again, this test case is pretty much high level, okay, because we are not saying to test this images. We are not we're not trying to test here this field, but you have to test this, right? But that test case didn't say anything about it. You see this? You have to test everything here. We have gone through yesterday, right? Positive testing, negative testing, boundary values, and so on. You have to test everything. These buttons, not just these buttons, reset forms. You have to, all these field values and everything has to be tested. But if you see this test case is not, doesn't say that much of information here. But okay, because you cannot make your test case, as I told you, you cannot make your test case lengthy. You have to do your testing, but at the same time, you have to make sure you are doing it right. So what I do is, let's say here, let's say if it's my test case, what I'll do is go ahead and click on edit. So here what I'll do is, since it's a lot of testing which is not shown in test case, so what I'll do is we'll just put it here in first import, or I'll just put it marked as performed positive testing, performed negative testing, performed boundary values, and this is, and then checked all the images on the website. Let's see here. Okay, and verified edit box, drop down box if there is any, static text, and do you see anything, buttons? Okay, fields, field values. That's how you want to write it. So that means, and click on save and close. Okay, so this shows here that you perform all this, because since you cannot do for negative, you have to include the negative test cases. If it's that option, you have to include negative test cases too. Okay, so here, since I've written only 5 test case, so that's the reason you have to. Okay, and this is how you need to put if there are so many things to do. Okay, here you have so many things to do, right? We have just, oops, what is this? Okay. You have to also verify these URLs. Okay, these URLs, and see this is the good, the text in this URLs, so whatever the text is, everything. Okay, so when you cannot write test cases for that, you have to include here and see that you have been, you're testing that. Because, even if your boss is good, doesn't matter, there will be an audit review. So once there is an audit review, they will review all this, what you have done. So they will, catch you and say, what have you done on this? So you will anyway, you cannot escape anyway. They'll catch you and say what you exactly have done and what does this mean by. Because audit review, they are not technical on that, but they will understand most of the things, and they will be also looking at your work. So what you are trying to do. Okay. Any questions so far in this? Okay. So far what we have done is we have only written test cases, but we didn't execute it yet. Okay. So let's see here. Oops, where is it? So here, let's go here. Okay. So this is my test case. This is ready. In functional testing on GMO website, and this is the work product. That's the user story. Okay. What type of testing, priority, and all those things. Okay. So if you see here at the corner, the right corner side, the 3 icons here, this is like tick mark, tick and cross mark, and this pencil and paper. You see this? This is to edit. If you are editing, you're using that. If you want to copy this test case, you can do that. Copy. Here is the thing. If you are copying any test case, you have to make sure it looks like professional. Some people copy it and just put it just like that. This option, if you see this looks really unprofessional. It doesn't look good. Copy of functional testing. Okay, you have to remove this. You have to edit it, and you have to write it your own. Okay, you cannot just copy someone else just like that. Okay. So just if you're copying it, just make sure you do it good. It's doesn't make it professional. Okay. And this thing, this is what you have to generate your result. Okay. Let's click on that. So without result, test case is useless. So you're not, executing it. If you're not executing it, that means you're not done anything. You have to execute it. Okay. So here, let's say build. Build is. Okay, so regression testing actually comes after integration testing, not after functional testing. Okay, first thing. Second thing is regression testing will be there will be a different team altogether for regression testing. Normally, QA people don't perform regression testing. So if regression testing team people are doing that, so they will be having their own test case. They will not be using QA test case. Does it make sense? Okay, so build here. Let's put the build. Build you need to check, to check with your lead what's the build number, where is the mandatory field. You see this red color, so you have to see. And verdict means it's a pass or fail or blocked. And here it just put as pass. Who is the tester? You have to put the tester. And we'll talk about this attachment shortly. And duration, how much time does it take? Take like 10 hours. And we just want to write some information here. Okay, successfully executed test cases for GMO Online. This. Okay, and save and close. Okay, good. But here's the thing. So once you do that, if you see this, the plus icon shows up here, you can see the result. Okay, that's good. Okay, you have completed it, and this is good. But the next one, the next question from your boss will be, okay, did you complete your test cases? You'll say yes. Okay. So how would I know that you have completed your test case? Right? Your boss will ask you this question. That's a very good question, right? You have completed. Okay, that's fine. You know it that you have completed. How would I know that you have completed? Right? So in that case, you need evidence, right? Without evidence, it's pretty much useless. Okay, so let's click on this. Okay, we're back here. You have to put attachments. Okay, without attachment, you cannot do anything. Okay, so let's see here how to know. First thing is you have to take screenshots. I've not told you this, but you have to do this. Okay, and let's see here. There are many ways. The one way is I will take screenshot from Paint. So then the Paint here pretty quick. So you can put attachment through MS Word actually. So I use Paint for just to edit my screenshots. I don't want whole information to put it, so just edit it. So I'll just put it here. And let's say your first test case was this. So take a screenshot, put it here. I'll just put this whatever important. This is my first test case. Okay, good. Next, okay, second test case is click on this button. So make sure this button and take a screenshot. Oops. You can put this way nothing wrong, but I'll just edit whatever the information required for my testing. So I don't want all this. So let's use whatever screenshots. And third test case is this putting on this one and take screenshot. Okay. And going back to fourth test case, click on this button, proceed with the other button, and obviously you have to fill all this information here. Take the screenshot. Okay. And this is fourth test case. For every test case, you have to at least take a screenshot. Okay. And I'll just put this. Okay. We'll stop here, but if you have to also take the other screenshot. That is, clicking on this button and going to this page. Okay. So once you have done that, you have to save this. Just put as result. Okay, now you have all the screenshot. That means you have pretty much evidence here. Now what you have to do is go here and edit and put the attachment, whatever you have done your work, because if there's no evidence, let's put it here. Okay, good. Now, click on Save and Close. Okay. So this is how you want to put this attachment. You know, you see this attachment. Now the attachment is good. Now that means if there is any bug, suddenly some developer opens some bug, right? You know, anyone can open a bug. It's not just tester. Anyone can open a bug. Even Scrum Master, business analyst, if they find some issue, they will open it. Now, if there any defect shows up, okay, or let's say it's in production, you know, that is worst. When any defect shows up in production, okay, now it comes back to you, okay, because you're the responsible guy who's supposed to test it. Now you see your test cases, and your boss, you know, calls you, you know, your phone, hey, can you stop at my desk? Now, once your boss calls you, that means you have to be ready to, you know, answer the questions. So your boss will ask you, what testing have you done this? So there is an issue from this, and you are a responsible tester. What have you done? Okay. So you're either you're supposed to know that issue. If you don't know, okay, then you have to be really careful in answering the question, because okay, they will check your work. So you'll say, no, you have the good evidence saying that, hey, you know what, we have tested this, you know, and this is the screenshots and this is the evidence. At that time, there was no, you know, there was no issue of this. You know, we have tested it, and all the result is documented here. You can check this one. I'm not exactly sure what exactly happened. Maybe some developer changed this code, or you know, something happened. But when we tested it, there was no issues, because you can check it out my work. This is evidence. So that's how you want to, you know, put your evidence. Otherwise, it will be very hard to defend yourself if there is an issue and it directly comes back to you, because you are the responsible person and you really don't have anything to show. If you don't have anything to show, then it's really hard to defend yourself unless you're good at talking. Okay, you're good in talking. Okay, they'll ignore it. That's fine. But if you're really not good, then you have to show this work that you have performed it, and there was no issue of such kind before. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but you tested it and it was good at that time. Okay, so that's why this documentation will help you out. So it's very important to document the results. Okay, so somebody else said, who will perform the integration and regression testing? So normally there is SIT, system integration testing. That will system SIT is performed by developers. They will be having will be having their own team. They will be, you know, performing, and regression testing is altogether a different thing, because regression uses tool like QTP or, you know, Selenium or LoadRunner, whatever. So that's a different team altogether. That's a different skill. Okay, so there will be a different team who will be performing that. Any more questions? So that's how, you know, you have to create your test cases and put the results in it. Okay, without results, I mean, you can do it, but if any bug shows up, anyone opens a defect, any of your team or any developer, as a matter of fact, you're the one who will get pulled of it. Okay. Yes, this is all about QA, functional testing. So ETL, so this is not ETL class, okay. So ETL will be having, you know, from Tagore and no, Sanjay, okay. Sanjay and Tagore will be, you know, explaining about SQL. So ETL process is a different, okay, that's a different skill altogether. Okay, but if you are going to ETL, that means QA will be the base. So let's say if you are going to ETL testing, so they will be expecting you that you're supposed to know QA, because the ETL is a little more complex than QA. I've write SQL queries, you have to do a lot of work. There's also R&D work there. You cannot just you know, take the mapping document and just start writing SQL queries. There's a lot of work. Okay, so if you are doing ETL, that means, you know, your boss is expecting QA too. That means you are supposed to know QA. QA is the base. And ETL comes, it's a back-end process. So this is QA is front-end process. ETL deals with all SQL queries, data, normally all data, whatever the data, customer's data. So for example, like here customer's data, what I mean is, let's say whenever you're using this, okay, let's go here. Whenever you're using this, you're putting some information here, right? What happens when you place an order? That means this data is actually stored in the database, right? That's what is happening. So I'm filling all this, whenever you're filling up all this information, right? Okay, so whenever you're clicking this button, let's say you're clicking this button, that means this data, all the data is stored in the database. That means this is navigating the next page because all the information is stored somewhere. So that's where you will be doing ETL process. That's the completely back-end process, and that's a different thing altogether. So this is front end, that will be back end. Does it make sense? Somebody asked, right? So whether the ETL process comes up, so that's how the ETL process comes up. Whenever you're entering the data, that is stored in the database. So that's where you'll be doing testing. Is the data good? It's not good. How is the data storing up? The wrong data, good data, and all those things. Okay, that's a different world altogether. Okay, so tomorrow we'll discuss about defects. Tomorrow we'll talk about the defects and we'll move forward. Okay, if no questions, can we close this class for today? I know some of you guys have another class, so just close it. Okay, thank you guys. So somebody asked a question, right? Is Rally a software to document testing process? Yes. Rally is actually to be more, to give you more better idea. Rally is a test management tool. Okay, yes, you can document all this process in Rally. That's correct. But to be, give a better idea, Rally is a test management tool, not just document process. You do a lot of things. That's why it's called test management. Okay, thank you guys.